Hello and welcome for the first video for Self-Care Sundays. So what is Self-Care Sundays all about? Really what Self-Care Sundays is about is a period of time for you and to give you skills and tools that you can use for times when you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious or just a little bit worried. So all these different tools that you'll get over the 6 weeks and activities that we'll do, some of them you'll really enjoy, some of them you'll think are okay, and some of them you might not enjoy at all. And that's perfectly fine, because the joy of all these different exercises and tools is that they're individual for each person, so you don't have to like every one of them. So please don't worry or don't feel put off about not enjoying one of the exercises, because there might be one coming up in another session that you'll really benefit from. Throughout the 6 sessions, I'm going to encourage you to do some art journaling. And what art journaling is essentially painting a watercolour background into a sketchbook or a notebook of some kind to do a wash. And then once that dries, you write for 7 minutes, and within the 7 minutes I want you just to write whatever comes out. So it doesn't have to make sense. It can be a mixture of things that do make sense to be mixed together. It can be you moaning about having to do the exercise. It can literally be whatever you want for those 7 minutes, and that is a time for you, and that journal is only for you. So the whole point in the journal is to get you used to having some time, as I said, to reflect. And this can feel really strange because we're so used to reflecting in our head. So worries whirring around, or sitting kind of staring at our phones and even ignoring the worries. Whereas with this art journal, you write whatever is in your head, and whatever actually is fresh in your head will come out in those 7 minutes, and you might actually surprise yourself with what comes out. And that then allows you to clear your head. So hopefully it will be beneficial for you on a Sunday night, especially with maybe school work starting then the next day, starting with a nice fresh head for the week, because I'm sure everybody's heads feel quite full with all the online learning and perhaps going back to school as well. All this additional thoughts going through our head, but be good to get them out so that we're not carrying them for more than what we need to. So doing this journal can be really beneficial to kind of process how your day's been, or to problem solve, or to plan for what you're going to do the next day, or even just to spend a bit of time just to relax and not really think about anything. And you know, you can do the 7 minutes and then do another wash on another page and just draw and not really think about it. So I will show you some examples in a second about how to do it. Journaling, what you're going to need is paper, whether it's a sketchbook like I've got here, or even just some normal printer paper. And then I've got just a mug with some water in it, and then watercolour paint. Don't worry if you don't have watercolour paint, you can just really water down whatever paint that you do have. The first thing you're going to want to do is do a wash over your paper. So you'll be soaking the paper just with a quick wash. And this will help then the watercolours to bleed nicely across the page. So I'm just doing this quicker. You won't need to do it as fast as what I'm doing it. Okay, and then you can pick your colour once your paper is nice and wet. And you don't have to do just one colour for the wash. So this will be the background for when you're writing for the 7 minutes. So I'm doing some blue. I think I want my background to be colours of the sea, because today is quite nice and it would be lovely to get out to the sea. And you'll see that your paper, because it's so wet, might start to curl, but you're going to dry your paper with a hairdryer before you do the writing for 7 minutes. So mine is going to be about the sea. I'm going to do green like seaweed. And if your paper starts to feel like it's drying out, you can just add a wee bit more water and then it can bleed all through again. So you don't want the colours to be too dark because then you'll not see what you're writing. And then I'm just going to do a quick wash of the water to blend it all a bit more. And then I'll dry it. Okay. So once you're happy with your wash on your paper, then just grab a hairdryer and dry the paper, and then give yourself 7 minutes to write about whatever comes into your head. So that's the way to do the art journaling, and I encourage you just to do that at the end of each one of these videos. So the first mindfulness exercise that I'm going to show you is called the butterfly hug. So there's 3 different ways that you can do this with your hands. 2 maybe slightly less discreet, and then 1 that you can adapt to be discreet if you want to do this in a setting where you don't want people to notice that you're doing it. So how I found this to be beneficial is tapping along whilst listening to music, or saying positive affirmations. So what positive affirmations are is telling myself really positive things about myself. So say, for example, I'm worried about an exam that I've got coming up. So I'd be doing this butterfly hug and then perhaps saying out loud or in my head whatever I'm more comfortable with that day. Things like, I'm good enough, or I've worked hard, I'm going to pass this exam. Just different positive things, and you don't necessarily have to believe them at the time, but doing the tapping alongside these positive affirmations can be really beneficial when you're feeling quite anxious about something. So I'll show you the 3 different ways that we can adapt our hands. So the original way for this butterfly hug is that you're doing like a butterfly. So it's almost like what I knew a butterfly like this, so it's almost like you're going backwards, okay? And then your palms are flat just underneath your collarbone, and your hands sit on your chest, and you're going to be doing like a tapping like this with it. So it's like the butterfly wings essentially going up and down. The other way that you can alter this is bringing your arms just slightly more across, so it's like you're giving yourself a hug, and your hands then you can be doing your tapping like this. And then the more discreet way is you can put your palms on your legs and do the tapping that way. So I'm just doing the tapping on my legs like this. So there are the 3 different variations of the butterfly hug. So you can keep this part of the video for when you want to use it for your mindfulness. But what I'm going to do now is talk you through just some of the butterfly hugs. So we're going to do this for just a few minutes, but I would encourage you to do it for about 5 minutes normally. Okay. So place your hands where you find them to be comfortable and just start gently tapping in a nice slow controlled motion. Okay. And now I encourage you to take a breath in from your nose and breathe out through your mouth. And continually keep tapping, nice and slow and controlled and gentle. So you can either keep your eyes open or you can close your eyes at this moment. And keep gently tapping, and don't forget to breathe. So we're going to breathe in and out. And either with your eyes closed or with your eyes open, I want you to imagine your safe place. Somewhere where you would always feel content and safe. I want you now to start to imagine what colours you would see in this safe place. Perhaps this safe place has some certain smells that you find comforting. The whole time continually tapping gently wherever you've chosen. And continue thinking about your safe place. So what are these smells? What are these colours? What's going on in your safe place? Perhaps you're on your own. Or perhaps there's someone or something with you. Okay, so now take a deep breath in again. And out through your mouth. So now, just as we're drawn to the end of our tapping, and you start to feel your body get some more calm, and perhaps you can feel the tension. Maybe it feels like it's melting away or evaporating away. I want you to start to think about some positive things which are going to get you through the rest of this day. Focusing on the gentle tapping rhythm as your body begins to relax. If you're unsure of positive affirmations, a good one to start with is I am good enough, because everybody is good enough. So this one will apply to you. You are good enough. I am strong. I am brave. Okay. So we're just going to bring this to a close now. So you can stop tapping whenever you feel comfortable. So that is the end of our first self-care Sundays. I hope you're feeling more relaxed and ready for the week ahead. And next video we will be looking at different mindfulness apps that can be beneficial for you. So until then, thank you and see you next time.